What is going on, guys? In today's video, we are going to be going over ticker symbol HCMC. Now, in this video, guys, I'm just going to give all of you guys a heads up. There is so much knowledge and there's going to be so many things discussed about HCMC in this video. So make sure you guys stay throughout the entire video so that you guys do not miss any key points, because there were so many things that happened over this week that will continue to play out throughout this upcoming week, guys. So I don't think anyone else has really been talking about it either. So again, make sure you guys watch through the entire video so that you guys do not miss any key points. So for this video, we are going to be going over not only the technical side of HCMC, but also the fundamental side, meaning the catalysts that are coming up. Because now I understand that the reason why we had such an enormous green candle at the end of closing on April 30th was actually because we have a lot of catalysts coming up and because of the news that occurred. But before I get into this video, guys, all I ask is that you subscribe to the channel and like the video, because one, at the end of each of my videos, I'll be providing my subscribers with free ARK Invest buy/sell alerts at the end of each of my videos. Now, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel for free by clicking that red subscribe button. And also, the reason why I bring up the ARK Invest buy/sell alerts is because it usually costs a lot of money annually to even be able to look at their alerts, because they have so many ETFs, right? But as long as you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you guys will be getting it all for free because I'll be alerting you guys. So, enough with that. Let's go ahead and dive first into HCMC's technical analysis. So, I drew all of these support and resistances a while back because we went over a lot of things. So we said that if it broke support number one, reevaluate the trade. If it broke support number two, reevaluate the trade. If it broke support number three, reevaluate the trade, right? Because on my channel, I don't want any of my subscribers bag holding a stock. So I said, it would be a little bit more smarter if you were considering reevaluating the trade right here instead of waiting all the way down here, right? However, the good news is that it looks like we are actually approaching back to previous levels, right? So this is very, very exciting, and I'm going to explain why we are in just a second. So we first had this massive run up, and this was in February. And remember, guys, in February, there were so many parabolic runs that like a lot of stocks were having the same exact chart pattern, right? And then it broke support number one, support number two, support number three, and then we fell to this support. And I did not make this support today, guys. This was from a long time ago, and I said that if it fell here, I could not believe if it fell even lower, because that means that we would have to fill another extremely low gap. That would be all the way right here. Like that 0.00096 to 0.00019 level. It would just be crazy if it fell, right? But the good news is that HCMC was extremely resilient and strong. It did not even break once this support. So that is really, really good. Also, the RSI. So as I was talking about this support level, I also mentioned about the double bottom for the RSI, right? And that is very much different from a double top, which is what we see right here and right here. And I think we are going to have another one right here. Double bottoms are basically great indicators that show a sign of resilience for a stock. It means that it should have a lot of momentum and therefore reverse the pattern that it's currently in. And in this case, it was in a massive downtrend, guys. Like it was about to break this support, but because it was so strong, it didn't, right? So double bottom right here. And so now that leads me to my next point, which is the double top. So double tops are basically when a stock hits a high level once and then it hits that resistance again. So right now, what we are going to need for HCMC is it is going to have to break 0.002517. Now, based off this chart, it does not look like we actually broke that level yet, although we are very, very close. And what I really like about this candle right here is that we did not have a massive tail upwards, meaning that sometimes when you have these candle bars, let me see if I can find one, like right here. Right, so you have this candle, but then look at like the massive, massive tail going upwards. That is not what you want to see, because it shows you that it has a hard time of actually staying at this level. It cannot hold that momentum, it cannot hold that strength, so it has no other choice than to fall back down. Same thing with here, right? You do not want to see this. Although what you would want to see is, let's say you have a tail going from the bottom, that actually shows a lot of strength. Let me see if I could find one. like maybe right here, like you see how yeah, this would actually be a perfect example because it had a tail going downwards, not once, but actually twice. And so that just shows a lot of sign of strength. So if that were to happen, that would be good. But the even better news is that we did not have a tail upwards going like this or like this because that actually shows the opposite of strength. Like I said, we must break 0.0025, and then after that, like after the 0.0025 level, we should be able to fill this upcoming gap right here. And remember guys, we can't just rush everything. It's not going to go just because it breaks 0.0025, it's not going to go all the way back to this level right here, back to this gap. Okay, there's so many levels to this, and because HCMC is like not even HCMC, because all these stocks have sold off significantly, and because the market conditions are not like extremely parabolic anymore, it is extremely important that now, especially with the market conditions, you guys understand that there are going to be many levels that have to be met. Although, what's really surprising is that even with all these market conditions, like I know a lot of penny stocks that have sold off, but HGMC has just proved the opposite. There are so many OTC stocks that just went down and they still continue to go down. But the amazing thing about HAMC is that it is not doing that whatsoever. I mean, we have been on a slight uptrend ever since like this April 6th, like the beginning of April. So that is a lot. That shows a lot. That's really good actually. So like I said, 0.0025 must be broken, then we will go to this next level. And remember guys, I'm not a financial advisor. These are just my opinions, and I actually do own some HCMC, so this is just what I think. I think we will get on the RSI another double top. So you already know what that means. That means that we will have more upwards momentum until we could reach back to the RSI level of 94. So that is why I actually think HCMC has a pretty nice chance of breaking this resistance. That's the only reason why I think HCMC could go back and fill this gap right here. Also, if you guys look at the volume, I stated in my last video that the volume was looking okay, but with this new volume bar right here, this actually could be the start of a massive reversal. We might see, starting like May 3rd to like just onwards in the month of May, like we could start seeing much more positive volume coming in. And now, aside from the technical analysis, it is important to talk about the news, the catalyst, the fundamental analysis in some extent about HCMC and the Philip Morris lawsuit. So, what's actually been going on, and this has been going on not just in like the past few days, but this has actually been happening for the past few months, guys. So, on April 27th, 1.9 million shares were sold, right? Philip Morris sold 1.9 million shares. Now, on April 21st, Philip Morris sold 996,000 shares, roughly. That was Philip Morris again. And then on February 25th, this was all the way back to February 25th, guys, Philip Morris sold 1.6, roughly, million shares. And on February 19th, Philip Morris sold roughly 3.5 million shares. Now, what does this tell you? No one can be certain why they're doing this, but this is an indicator that Philip Morris does not feel as though they can win the lawsuit. That is what a lot of people are saying, but again, no one really knows what Philip Morris is really trying to do, right? But that's just what they've been doing. They've been selling their shares, and a lot of people are wondering why. Well, the reason is probably because they don't feel as though they could win the lawsuit. And, the surprising thing is that they've actually been starting to sell their shares all the way back to like early February. And also, I noticed on April 30th, like at the end of closing time, so like around 3 to 4 o'clock, there were roughly 50 million shares bought at around this price, right? Because these prices are over now, right? I don't think that we are going to see these prices again, or at least not for a very long time, unless some other news comes out with like Philip Morris or something like that, right? So these were expensive shares bought. And I feel like that is also why we had such a strong candle bar right here, because at the close on April 30th, there were so many shares bought. These are just things to consider though, guys. And now, aside from that, I will now transition over to the stocks that Kathy Wood and her team have been buying this week. The stock of the day that Kathy Wood and her team have been buying this week, and actually for a long time, is known as Nano Dimension, or in other words, ticker symbol NNDM. Now, this is a 3D printing company. I'm sure a lot of you guys know that because a lot of you guys actually requested for me to go over NNDM for the stock of the day because You guys might have heard that Kathy Wood has been buying this stock, but you guys might not know when, how much percent, like how much their percent of their portfolio allocation they have into an NDM, which I will go over in just a second. And you guys might not know in how many ETFs they actually have the stock in. So we're going to go over all that. So they have it in 4 of their ETFs: RQ, ARKW, their print ETF, and then another one of their ETFs. So they first started adding into the RQ ETF on April 20th. They started out with 8.5 roughly million shares, and it actually seems to be that they decreased the amount of shares that they have, so they reduced their position to 8.4 million shares. But this is actually a very slight decrease. We see that they also reduced it on April 21st, but then they added just a little bit more on April 22nd. And remember, guys, because all of these stocks have fell so much, what ARK Invest is doing is they are like reevaluating all of their stocks, and they're basically like changing their portfolio allocations into a lot of these stocks because they're trying to go with their highest conviction stocks. And the good news is that ARK Invest did not completely remove this stock. They did not substantially decrease their share amount or their like position holding in this stock. So that is good for anyone that holds Nano Dimension. Hopefully this gives you guys some conviction too. And then in their ARKW ETF, we can see that their portfolio allocation has roughly stayed the same. They went from 5.4 roughly million shares, and then they actually decreased. So on April 29th, they now hold roughly 5.3 million shares, or you could just round it to 5.4 million shares. So really not that much of a big difference. In their print ETF, they have also roughly been doing the same. But in all these ETFs, we kind of just see either nothing changing or just a very slight decrease in shares. Regardless, though, there have been a lot of just catalysts for NNDM. They've been acquiring a lot more companies. They've been doing a lot more acquisitions. So again, hopefully this stock of the day helps you guys. For anyone that is holding NNDM or bag holding NNDM, I know that this stock has went down substantially, but I think in October, when the market sentiment really changes and people start investing back into growth stocks, you guys, in my opinion, and remember, guys, I'm not a financial advisor, but in my opinion, I think Nano Dimension will go back to like where it was before, in the month of October, because I think that's the month where we will see a lot of growth stocks getting back that momentum. In the month of May, though, I'm not really sure because May is when they release inflation data. So inflation data might scare some people, or maybe that might be factored in. There's really no telling. We're just going to have to wait and see. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to end the video here. Remember, if you guys want to see more videos like this, where I go over some stocks of the day, or if you guys have any questions about a specific ticker symbol or stock, make sure you guys comment it down below. And with that being said, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to like the video. Thanks again for watching.